Hello, namaste. Welcome to ThePrint. My name is Amana Begam Ansari, and in this week, in my column, I have written an article about the movie Jigra, which I have watched in London with my friends, and I have tried to basically figure out how this movie unintentionally also talking about India's modern India's confusion about morality. Like there are a section who believe that why to follow morality if you can thrive without it. In fact, you can get more benefit. So there are few things Indians abroad simply can't do without: Indian food, Indian spices, and Bollywood. Whenever Indian go, they create a little space for them, carry a little home, I would say. And I'm no different. Living in London, one of the most diverse cities in the world, I have often found myself drawn to the pocket of home, a familiar restaurant, or film that takes me back. Uh, so when I got the chance to watch Alia Bhatt's Jigra with my friends in London, I jumped right in. The fact that they are from different culture background only added to my happiness because not only did the experience of watching the movie become satisfying for the Indian inside me, but it also turned into a moment of cultural exchange. Cinema, after all, is the richest reflection of a country's heart and soul. Um, I can say, not I can say, like some would argue that Bollywood, with its over the top glamour and often unrealistic portrayal, does not always represent India accurately. But I would still believe it does still reflect society in its own special way. To me, it was obvious that this movie, while was made for entertainment purpose, but simultaneously it posed subtle challenge to societal belief. For example, instead of a man protecting his family, it showed a woman risking it all for her loved ones. So Jigra cleverly subverted gender norms, casting a woman as her brother protector. It shows the strength and protection aren't the domain of men alone. And as in a country where Raksha Bandhan has been associated with men being protected. In this movie, it clearly says that she's the one protector, as she's the elder sister. And as an Indian woman, I would say it really admiring in some sense. Movie offers some impressive action scenes showcasing how rapidly Bollywood is evolving, especially on technical front. It was also refreshing to see a storyline without any usual romantic subplot. But what really bothered me and made me write this article was the moral framework of the lead character Satya, who faces no repercussion for her action, which involve breaking the jail into foreign jail, basically this imagined foreign land, to save her brother. And it's as though her questionable decisions are justified simply because they were made out of the loyalty to her brother. Satya's disregard for other human beings and government official is almost glorified, because in the end of the movie it felt like she has won certain kind of war. So modern India's moral dilemma is like, it's not that Jigra overlooked the moral um, aspect entirely. There is another character who initially partnered with Alia but tries to stop her on moral ground. But after that moment, the film kind of lets the conversation fade away, leaving the issue unresolved. And not only that, even the way he gets treated for standing for the right is something kind of also um, very problematic, very troubling for me. And I would say that Jigra combines narrow and wide, traditional and modern, and Western Indian moral ideas without, in a very vague way, without offering no clear stance. And it left me wondering whether the movie unintentionally reflected the state of confusion many Indians feel, in the 21st century. Like they are navigating through their individual survival, family loyalty, social harmony, and the growing awareness of broader moral concern. So the film, in its ambiguity, may be capturing that moral dilemma. And to be honest, many in Indian have come to believe that with enough money and power, they can get away with almost anything. The lack of consequences for causing harm to other no longer shocks us. And I think this is the entire. I don't know, like this is the theme of this movie when the rich family kind of gets away and Bhatt's brother is paying for it, and there's no consequences for them as well. However, they have been still portrayed as a villain, so it doesn't bother you that much. But uh, Satya's character has been shown in a way like in the end, she's feeling this kind of uh, a kind of feeling which is like a winner, or there is a no regret in her heart for doing all the rakas and creating all the chaos. And it's troubling to see how film Jigra reflects and validates this mindset. It perhaps mirror the troubling reality in contemporary Indian society. So why, I mean, the idea that would be easy, that why to adhere any kind of moral framework when those without one seems to thrive effortlessly, or when it comes to your personal gain or your personal selfishness, you would not want to then adhere to framework, and you would be not even bearing any consequences. The other point on when it comes to the moral framework or the entire mindset, I also noticed that we do not value the institution and it feels very normal. So it's another unsettling truth that Jigra highlights is not diminishing no respect for the system. So for some reason, deceiving authority is to protect loved ones is seen as acceptable, as though we have no higher moral obligation to society. It raises the question about how much we value institution integrity at the face of personal loyalty. Those who uphold the system are portrayed as the villain without any valid reason to back the assertion. The problem is that the morality in India is not a personal or self constructed concept. It is frequently influenced by what society teaches us, what is expected from us, or what religious framework system imposes. So it's easy to see that why people might abandon if they find personal gain in doing so. There's no sense of guilt uh, because the value were never internalized, truly understood, and they were simply inherited or followed out of the kind of obligation. So it feels to me like this movie may be also depicting the same thing. And while being influenced by the society and cultural history, is good. I mean, it's not bad thing, but there is a greater need uh, to develop a personal moral autonomy and develop on a personal level of an individual framework. And I think education, reasoning, and philosophical reflection can help us to achieve that. And when we would find our own moral framework, maybe it would we would be more loyal to it because we are choosing it to be a part of our life. So for more such a video, please keep watching The Print. Thank you.